Hi students, very good morning all of you. So welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discussing about that advanced September 2020 paper 1. Okay, first of all I am going to explain that what is the strategy of this year. Okay, so coming to this one, from the each subject mathematics, physics and chemistry, totally 18 questions are there from each subject, 18 questions. So and there are the three types of the questions, that is the single answer type questions, multi answer correct questions and integer type questions. Okay, so for each one number of questions, single answer type questions from each subject 6, multi answer correct type questions 6, integer type questions 6, and they are assigned the marks scheme is like this. So plus 3 and minus 1, corrected question is plus 3 and wrong answer is minus 1, and it is the multi answer type questions plus 4 and minus 2, and there will be a partial marking is there. Okay, and coming to the integer type questions, okay, there is no negative marks, only corrected this one you will get that plus 4 marks. Okay, so this is about the strategy of this year advanced paper. Okay, yes, so coming to that, our mathematics paper, let us see this. Yes students, so coming to the first question. So suppose AB denotes the distal real roots of this quadratic expression x square plus 20x minus 2020, and CD denotes the distinct complex roots of quadratic expression x square minus 20x plus 2020, and they have given that one expression. What is the value of that expression of those four options? Okay, yes, come on, simplify this one. So which is a square c minus ac square plus a square d minus a d square plus b square c minus bc square plus b square d minus bd square. Okay, yes. So from this one we can take that common a square of c plus d. Okay, that a square of c plus d, and here is the b square of c plus d. Okay, yes, so we can write c plus d of a square plus b square, right? C plus d of a square plus b square, and the remaining terms, so minus of a plus b of c square plus d square. The remaining negative terms from this one, minus of a plus b into c square plus d square. Okay, yes, come on, this can be written as c plus d into a square plus b square. Actually a b are the roots of the expression, so this I can write as a square plus b square, which is a plus b whole square minus 2ab minus of a plus b into c square plus d square. This is c square plus c plus d whole square minus 2 times of c. Yes, come on. Thereafter totally substituting the values. C plus d, this is the roots of the sum of the roots of the second equation, which is 20 of, okay, a plus b whole square, sum of the roots of the first equation, which is minus 20 whole square, which is 400 minus 2 times of ab, product of the roots is minus 20, right? Yeah, so minus of a plus b, sum of the roots of the first equation, which is minus 20 of, okay, c plus d whole square from the second equation, sum of the roots whole square, which is 400 minus 2 times of cd, product of the roots is 20. Okay, yes, come on. So here these terms get cancelled, which is okay, yes, these two terms get cancelled. Then we can get here 8,000 and minus of minus of plus 8,000, which is, your answer is 16,000. Okay, next, very simple question. So I am going to give you the category for this one is the easy question. Okay, yes students, coming to the second question. F is defined from R to R, defined by like this: f of x equals to modulus of x into x minus sin x. Then which of the following option is true? Okay, we have given the options. So okay, yes, come on. See this function f of x equals to modulus of x into x minus sin x. Okay, so here clearly you can say this one, f of minus x is equals to minus of f of x, right? Correct. F of minus x is equals to minus of f of x. So clearly I can say f is an odd function, right? F is an odd function. Okay, yes. Then after I'm going to check this one. What is f dash of x? Okay, I can define like this: f dash of x equals to, I mean, x into x minus sin x. Of course, it is x square minus x sin x. So this is for x greater than or equals to 0. Mod of x is x into x minus sin x. So this is your f of x. And coming to that f dash of x, it is 2x minus it is sin x minus x into cos x, which is so x it is x minus sin x, okay, yes, plus x into 1 minus cos x. Okay, here for x greater than or equals 0, what do you say f dash of x is? Please observe this one. For x greater than 0, just I defined that the function. Okay, then after I have taken that its derivative, which is like this. So for x greater than or equals to 0, clearly I can say f dash of x is greater than 0. Am I right? And totally it is greater than 0. Then coming to the graph, so the odd function, okay, odd function and it's greater than 0, clearly I can say the function is the increasing function. Right, f dash of x is greater than 0, then I can say it is an increasing function and which is particular odd function. So we get the graph is the like this. Right, yeah, suppose like this. Okay, so can what is it? The finally, so f is both 1 1 and on 2. Very simple question. Yes, it is also coming to that easy question. Right, so come on, students, make it. Yes. So coming to the next question. So let the function f from R to R, g from R to R, they are defined like this. F of x equals to e power x minus 1 plus e power modulus of x minus 1 minus half. And one more function g, 1 by 2 of e power x minus 1 plus e power 1 minus x. So this is somewhat difficulty problem. Okay, let us see. Under the area cover model. So area of the region bounded by y equals to f of x and y equals to g of x. Okay. So with the x-axis, which is in Q1, first quadrant, how much the totally area covered by this one. Okay, they have given that some options. Okay, yes, so coming to the graph. Okay, so 0. Let us take at x is equals to 1. This is at x is equals to 1. So okay, here clearly, yes, observe this one. Here x equals to 1. So when x less than 1, what about the first graph? When x less than 1, x minus 1 is less than 0. Okay, negative. Okay, and this becomes e power of x minus 1. Am I right or not? So total this get cancelled. So when x less than minus 1, completely it is 0. And when x greater than 1, it is going like this. This is your y equals to f of x. That is about the first graph. Okay, f of x graph is like this. When x less than 1, it is completely 0. When x greater than 1, it is getting like this. Okay, coming to this one. Okay, so it is y-axis. So when x is 0, e power minus 1 plus e power 1 by 2. When x is 0, okay, when x is 0, so its value is e power 1 plus e power minus 1 by 2. Okay, yes, and it is getting the graph is like this. Okay, yes, so they will intersect at this one. Now, what we are going to find is area covered by this one. Okay, yes, with the y-axis x is equals 0 and in the first quadrant, I think we are going to find this area. This will be the area that we should find this one. Okay, yes, now we are going to find this value x coordinate. Okay, yes, it is very clearly integration of 0 to 1. So divided into this one, two parts a1 and a2. So clearly a1 is integration of 0 to 1, so which is g of x, right? This is the g of x function. G of x is 1 by 2 of e power x minus 1 plus e power 1 minus x dx. And then what about a2? Come on, please, this one integration of 1 to some point. Okay, 1 to some point. It is, yes, this part, second part, a2 is the upper curve is g of x and the lower curve is f of x. So here I am going to write g of x minus f of x dx. Yes, then what is the point? So by simplifying this one, here we are going to get this is 1 plus log root 3 comma 0. Okay, so that is what the boundaries. Okay, yes, by simplifying this one, by total adding that a1 and a2, that's what we are going to get, what they asked about that area under this curve. Okay, yes, come on. So let us see this one. this is 1 by 2 of e power x minus 1 is e power x minus 1 integration, and this is a minus of e power 1 minus x, boundaries are 0 to 1. Okay, plus, and it is integration of integration of 1 to, okay, integration of 1 to 1 plus log root 3 g of x. So it is a g of x is 1 by 2 of e power x minus 1 plus e power 1 minus x, right, minus of, so this is e power x minus 1 minus e power, okay, this is x greater than 1, x minus 1 is a positive, right, so I can write it is e power 1 minus x dx. Yes, and integrating these things and applying the boundaries, so from for the g of x integration of 0 to 1, boundaries are 0 to 1, here 1 to 1 plus log root 3, totally here it is a some calculation is there. Yes, so you can calculate that, you will get that the first option. Okay, here somewhat difficulty is the by that is applying that according to the diagram, it may get somewhat difficulty, and here also calculations are somewhat difficulty. Okay, it is under category of difficulty then. Okay, come on. Yes, coming to the next question, students. So AB lambda are positive real numbers, and P is any point on the lattice rectum of the parabola y square is equals to 4 lambda x, lattice rectum of the parabola y square is equals to 4 lambda x, and suppose they have given that one ellipse x square by a square plus y square by b square equals to 1, which is passing through the point P, which is passing through the point P, where P is any point on the lattice rectum of the parabola. And one more condition, if the tangents of the parabola and ellipse at the point P are perpendicular, in that case what is the eccentricity of the ellipse? They have given that one some options. Okay, yes, come on. So first of all, take the diagram. Parabola, so this is y square equals to 4 lambda x, so it is a focus. Okay, so which is lattice rectum. P is any point, P is any point at the end of the on the lattice rectum of the parabola, the end of the lattice rectum of the parabola. Suppose, so x coordinate is lambda, y coordinate is 2 lambda. Am I right or not? Okay, yes, and P is any point on the parabola. Yes, and there is an ellipse which is passing through the point P. Okay, come on. So there is an ellipse which is passing through the ellipse, right? Yeah, and one more condition, if the tangents of the parabola and ellipse they are perpendicular. Okay, so this is one tangent, come on, this is one tangent to the parabola, this is another tangent to the ellipse, these two are perpendicular. Very simple thing, two lines are perpendicular, then the product of the slopes is equals to -1. So I am going to find product of the slopes, means the slope of the tangent to the parabola at this point P and the slope of the tangent to the ellipse at the point P. So the product of the slope should be -1. Of course, we know that. So one of the applications of derivative, tangent unknown concept. Okay, come on. So first of all, take this one, parabola. Find out the slope of the tangent, which is derivative 2y into y dash equals to, which is 4 lambda. Okay. So y into y dash is 2 lambda. Y dash equals to 2 lambda by y. Yes, at the point P. At the point P, what is y coordinate? 2 lambda. So which is y value is 2 lambda. That is m1 equals to 1. So slope of the tangent at the point P to the parabola is 1. So obviously the slope of the tangent to the ellipse at the point P is -1. Right? So clearly m2 is -1. In this process, what we are going to get that eccentricity value. So what is m2? Slope of the tangent to the ellipse at the point P. Yes, come on. So ellipse, so this is 1 by a square of, I am going to find this slope of the tangent, I will differentiating 1 by a square of 2x plus 1 by b square of 2y into y dash is equals to 0, right? 1 by b square of 2y to y dash equals to 0. Yes, it is slope of the tangent, already it is m2 is -1. Okay, now this value is -1. In that case, what you can get the relation is this is 2x by a square, this is negative term, this is 2y by b square. Okay, then b square by a square, b square by a square is b square by a square is y by x. So actually what is y by x? Y by x, y coordinate by x coordinate at this point 2 lambda by lambda, which is 2. Right? Now what is the eccentricity of the ellipse? E equals to root of, right, 1 minus b square by a square. that is eccentricity of the ellipse, which is root of, okay, I'm sorry, this is 1 by root of 1 minus a square by b square. 1 minus a square by b square is 1 by 2, which is 1 by root 2 is the eccentricity of the ellipse. So which is your first option. I think it is the easy category. Am I right or not, students? So very easy problem. Okay, come on students, make it. Yeah, students, coming to the next question. C1, C2 are the two coins with their probabilities of getting head. The probabilities of getting head in a single toss is 2 by 3, and for the second coin is the possibility of getting the head. Okay, this is 1 by 3, and what condition is given? Alpha is the number of heads appearing on the C1 when it is tossed twice. When it is tossed twice, alpha is the number of heads appearing on the first coin, and beta is the number of heads appearing on the second coin when it is tossed twice. Yes, okay. Then finally, what is the probability of the roots of the quadratic polynomial, so which is x square minus alpha x plus beta are real and equal. The roots of this quadratic polynomial real and equal. Okay. So what is the probability of that one? Okay, yes, come on. So for this equation, the roots are real and equal. I can say delta equals to 0. Delta is a b square equals to 4ac, which is alpha square. B square is equals to 4 beta. Alpha square equals to 4 beta. Yes, when you can get that these two cases, alpha square is equals to 4 beta, I am going to say the possibility 1 is when alpha is 0 and beta is 0, this condition will satisfy. Right or not? So, and possibility 2, when alpha is 2 and beta is 1, am I right or not? Possibility 2, when alpha is 2 and beta is 1, we can get satisfy this one. Now, what our problem is? Yes, when the coins are tossed 2 times, so alpha, when alpha gets 0, I mean alpha means the number of heads appearing on the first coin, that means there is no head. Head 0 times, and from the second coin also head 0 times. What is that probability? Indirectly they are asking. And coming to the one more possibility, when the first coin is tossed twice, so alpha, I means the number of heads are appearing, 2 heads, and at the same time when the second coin is tossed twice, just only one time only heads. In that case, what are the possibilities? Yes, come on. So total we are going to take that the possibilities. So coming to this one, binomial distribution. Okay, there are 2 possibilities, head or tail. Okay, yes, so when the coin touches twice, 2 times, first possibility. So from that 2c0, right, 2c0 and alpha 0 times, that's why it is 1 by 3 whole square, head getting 2 by 3. So now getting tail is 1 by 3, so 2 times. So it is 2c0, and here also, yes, 2c0, and it is 2 by 3 whole square. Okay, plus, and coming to the second possibility. So from the second possibility, alpha 2 times and beta 1 time. Okay, yes, it is from the 2c0 and alpha 2 times, we are going to getting the head, which is 2 by 3 whole square. Okay, yes, and from this one time head, and the second time will be tail for the second coin, right? 2c1, so which is 1 by 3, okay, and it is equal to 2 by 3. I mean second time is only one time only will be the head from the second coin, so second time is 2 by 3, I mean getting head. Okay, yes, come on. So this is 1 by 9 and 4 by 9. So 1 by 9 and 4 by 9, which is 4 by 81 plus, and it is 4 by 9, 2c0, 2c1 into 2, okay, and it is 4 by 9 into, it is 2 2, so 4 by, and it is 9, okay, yes, it is 4 by 81 plus 16 by 81, which is 20 by 81, that will be the possibility. Okay, yes, I think so. Can I say this one? It is also easy category of the problem. Okay, very simple problem. Yes, coming to the next question, 6th one. Consider all the rectangles lie in this region. So what is the region? X lies between 0 to pi by 2, including 0 and pi by 2. And what is y value? 0 less than or equals to y, which is less than or equals to 2 sin 2x. And for these all these rectangles, one of the side lies on x-axis. Okay, and what is the area of the rectangle? Finally, we are going to find the area of the rectangle having the maximum perimeter of all those rectangles. That we should find. Okay. Yes. Come on, take the graph. 0, x value lies between 0 to pi by 2. Okay. So if all rectangles are lies inside the region only. Okay. Yes. Come on. Take this rectangle. Okay. Yes, so let us take it is alpha, okay, and its length is pi by 2 minus 2 alpha. Rectangle length is, and what about this breadth? So when x is alpha, what is y value? So it is 2 sine 2 alpha. Okay, yes, length is there, breadth is there, then what is the perimeter? First to find the perimeter, and we are going to get that maximum perimeter. Get that case, what is length and what is breadth, then we will get the area simply. Okay, perimeter 2 times of L plus B, it is pi by 2 minus 2 alpha, plus breadth is, it is y coordinate, it is 2 sine 2 alpha. So this will function in terms of alpha, f of alpha. Yes, take out f dash alpha alpha. So which is a constant 0. Yes, minus 2. This derivative is minus 2 plus 2 into sine 2 alpha derivative cos 2 alpha with 2. Okay. Yes, which is equal to the 0. That is minus 2. Okay. Plus 4 cos 2 alpha equals to 0. Yes, cos 2 alpha equals to, it is 2 by 4, 1 by 2. 1 by 2. Okay, so it is a cos 60 degrees 1 by 2. 2 alpha 60. Alpha is 30 degrees. In that case, what is length and what is the breadth and what is the maximum area? So in that case, so what is the value? So now this is area pi by 2 minus 2 alpha into 2 sine 2 alpha. Yet the alpha value will be 30. Okay, so pi by 2 minus that is 60. Okay, pi by 2 minus what is this? Alpha is 30. 260 is 230 is 60. So 90 minus 60, 30, it is pi by 6 into 2 sine 2 alpha. Yes, it is 2 into sine 2 alpha, sine 60, root 3 by 2. Okay, get cancelled. And here is 3 2's. Okay, simply what is your answer? Okay, yes, it is 5 into root 3 by 2. Okay, next. Very simple problem. Come on students, how it will be easy? I think it is a somewhat moderate category. Even a moderate category problem. Come on, make a note. Yes, coming to the next problem, 7th problem. So f from R to R, f is defined by f of x equals to x cube minus x square plus x minus 1 into sin x. And g from R to R is an arbitrary function. And they are defined that the product of function f into g is defined from R to R. And the defined f into g of x, the product of the functions f into g of x can be taken as f of x into g of x. And they have given that some options, which of the following is correct. Okay, yes, the product of the function f into g of x is equals to f of x into g of x, they define like this. So now I am going to take that first principle of derivative. So which is limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x by h is nothing but f dash of x, right? Alex? Okay, yes, now apply this function for this product of the function. Okay, and here each and every option at x is equals to 1 is given. Okay, yes, I can take limit h tends to 1 fg of 1 plus h minus f of fg of 1 plus h, fg of 1 plus h minus fg of x by h. Right? The function is fg of h. Okay, yes, fg of 1. Okay, here h tends to 1. Fg of 1, I mean f of 1 into g of 1. Right? What is f of 1? F of 1 is 1 cube minus 1 square. G is 0 and completely 0. So this part is 0. Now what is f into g of x? Okay, yes, come on. So this is limit h tends to 1. Okay, this is g of 1 plus h into f of 1 plus h. F of 1 plus h, 1 plus h whole cube minus 1 plus h whole square and plus h into sin 1 plus h. Right? Okay, h tends to 1 plus, okay, I am going to take this one, h tends to 1 and 1 plus, okay, and this is, okay, take that 1 plus h whole cube, okay, I can take as 1 plus 3h, okay, 1 plus 3h, yes, 1 plus 3h. I mean, neglecting the next highest terms, minus of it is 1 plus 2h, right? 1 plus 2h of this is, and okay, plus this is a h into sine 1 plus h. This is the function by h. Okay, yes, I am going to separating the function. Okay, this is limit h tends to 1. What about this term? What about this term is this is sine of, okay, 1 plus h of sine of 1 plus h into 1 plus h by h. Okay, yes, and plus g of 1 plus h into this function. Am I right or not? Okay, yes, it is very clearly, okay, limit h tends to 1, sine of 1 plus h plus g of 1 plus h. Okay, and here it is the g of 1 plus and g of 1 minus, g of 1 plus and g of 1 minus. So here that means LHD, left hand derivative, I can write this function plus g dash of 1, g dash of, I mean 1 minus, and RHD, right hand derivative, this function plus g dash of 1 minus. Okay, yes, coming to the options. If g is continuous at x is equals to 1, g is continuous at x is equals to 1, okay, then obviously f into g is a differentiable at x is equals to 1. Am I right or not? Okay, so if it is continuous, g dash of 1 plus equals to g dash of 1 minus, sorry, g of 1 plus is equals to g of 1 minus. Yes, so clearly it is your first option. Okay, coming to the second option, if fg is a differentiable at x is equals to 1, then g of x is continuous at x is equals to 1. Continuous means g of 1 plus is equals to g of 1 minus, not only that, but which is equals to g of 1. Am I right or not? G of 1 plus is equals to g of 1 minus, both are is equals to g of 1. But there is no option like this. So I cannot say the second option is correct. Second option is wrong. Similarly, the third option is correct by taking this one. Okay, it is a somewhat different problem. By using the first principle of derivative, we can simplify that problem. Okay, students, come on, make a note. Yes, coming to the next question. So let M is any 3 by 3 matrix with real entries, and I is identity matrix of 3 by 3, and they defined like this. M inverse equals to adjoint of adjoint M, and which of the following is true? Taking the 4 options. Okay, and yes, we have adjoint of adjoint A, det A into I. Am I right or not? Adjoint of adjoint A equals to det A into I. And we have one more is A inverse equals to adjoint A by det A. Am I right or not? Okay. So from this one we can write adjoint A equals to det A into A inverse. Adjoint A equals to det A into A inverse. Okay. So coming to this one, M inverse equals to, actually what they have given, adjoint of adjoint A. Yes. So what is adjoint A? Det A into A inverse. Okay. Adjoint A equals to det A into A inverse. So adjoint of adjoint A, which is det A into, so which is adjoint of A inverse. Right or not? So the same thing I can write, and again applying this one, which is det of A inverse into, okay, det of A inverse into, so which is det A. Okay, yes, I can just replace that M is replaced with A, no problem. Whatever, for our convenience, we can take M or A. Okay, yes. So finally, what is that? So I mean, A inverse is equals to A. So A inverse is equals to A. I can write A square is equals to identity. A square is equals to, I mean, M square equals to identity. Yes, that's all. This is one of the option. Okay. Similarly, you can get at these two. Right? So your options are B, C, D. Okay. So that is the important problem for this. Come on, very easy problem, I think so. Students, make a note. Yes, students. So one more simple problem from the complex numbers. Yes, which is based on the modulus of a complex number and based on some inequalities problem. Okay, S be the set of all the complex numbers and which is satisfying the condition z square plus z plus 1 equals to 1. Yes, based on this condition. So which of the following option will satisfies? Okay, come on. So this is modulus of z square plus 2z plus 1, which can be written as z plus 1 by 2 whole square plus 3 by 4. Am I right? Okay. So it is adding 1 by 4 and subtracting 1 by 4. Okay. This can be written as modulus of z plus 1 by 4. Okay. This is equals to 1. Okay. This actually. Okay. Now I am going to using this one. Modulus of z1 plus z2, which is greater than or equals to modulus of z1 minus modulus of z2. Is it right or not? Yes, so that property I am going to satisfy this one, which is greater than or equal to this value is modulus of first one is z plus 1 by 2 minus what is modulus of z2 is 3 by 4. Yes, and what is this value totally, which is already 1. Okay, now the same thing I am going to write like this: modulus of z plus 1 by 2, right? Modulus of z plus 1 by 2 minus 3 by 4. Which is less than or equals to 1. Okay, that means the total value under modulus. So lies between minus 1 to plus 1. Can I write like this? Minus 1 less than or equals to, which is modulus of z plus 1 by 2 minus 3 by 4 less than or equals to 1. Okay, so throughout adding this one 3 by 4, then we will get that one condition. Okay, so which is minus 1 plus 3 by 4, which is less than or equals to modulus of z plus 1 by 2 less than or equals to, it is 1 plus 3 by 4. So which is, this is 1 by 4 and this is 7 by 4. Yes, come on. So come. Yeah, and from this case, so what can you observe this one? What can you observe this one? Z plus 1 by z is greater than or equals to 1 by 4 and which is less than or equals to 7 by 4. Am I right or not? Yes, then I can say z plus 1 by z is greater than or equals to 1 by 2. Am I right or not? So which your third option is correct. And from this one, we can separate the z. So modulus of z is less than or equals to 2. Okay, yes, from this conclusion, by using that inequality, okay, here you will get these two options are correct, 2 and 3. Yes, students, come on, make a note. And whatever this one, these are all z plus 1 by z less than or equals to 1 by 2, but actually we got greater than or equals to 1 by 2. Okay, this is correct one, this is wrong. And we have in this modulus which is satisfying the so many values, but they have given that their set has exactly 4 elements. That's why this option is, I take that this option is wrong. Okay, students, come on, make it out. Yes, coming to the next problem, 10th problem. So from the properties of triangles, x, y, z are the real numbers and they are the sides of a triangle which are opposite to vertices capital X, capital Y and capital Z. Okay, this problem generally we are going to get that small ABC are the sides which are opposite to capital A, capital B, capital C, but they have just changed that. In place of small ABC they have given that small x, small y, small z, which are the sides of a triangle and vertices are capital X, capital Y and capital Z. Okay, and off-angle form. Okay, tan x by 2 into tan z by 2. We have formula tan a by 2 into tan c by 2. Okay, according to that formula we are going to expand this, and of those which of the following is correct. Okay, yes, come on. So by the off-angle formula, tan a by 2. Okay, delta by s into s minus a. Am I right? Delta by s into s minus x. Okay, and here is delta by s into s minus small z. Okay, is equals to, which is 2y by s. What is that? Sum of the three sides, which is called semi-perimeter, which is 2s, get cancelled. Okay, by s, 1 by s, 1 by s get cancelled, which is, okay, yes, I think so. It is a tan x by 2 plus tan z by 2. Okay, yes, and it is by taking that s terms get cancelled. Okay, so delta taken out common, it is 1 by s minus x plus 1 by s minus z is equals to y. So denominator s also get cancelled, which is a delta of which is s minus z plus s minus x by s minus x into s minus z is equals to y. S, which is 2s. 2s means x plus y plus z, x plus y plus z minus of x minus x minus z will get y, and this term get cancelled. Okay, then what is the delta value? Delta equals to s minus x into s minus z. Finally we got delta is equals to s minus x into s minus z. Yes, and of course what is the delta square value? Basically delta equals to our hero's formula, root of s into s minus a, s minus b, s minus c. So here delta square is s into s minus x into s minus y into s minus z. Delta square value. Actually, what is delta square? Which is s minus x whole square into s minus z whole square is s into s minus x into s minus y into s minus z. S minus z. One time get cancelled. Okay. So, which is s square minus of x plus z into s plus xz. Okay. So, here we will get s of s minus y. Okay, s of s square minus y. Okay, so which is s square minus sy. So both sides and again s square get cancelled. Okay, yes, totally by simplifying this one, we will get y square is equals to x plus z. What is the meaning of y square is equals to x plus z? Hypotenuse square equals to sine square plus sine square. You will get like this: y square is equals to x square plus z square. Okay, then I can say, yeah, so angle y is equals to angle x plus angle z. Right, Alan? So which is 90 degrees. Angle at y is hypotenuse square is sine square plus sine square. Okay, that is one of the option. Okay, let us say that one more option. Yes, coming to that one more option, I am going to check this one. Okay, so please write this one: tan x by 2 equals to delta by s into s minus x. Okay, which is delta by s means x plus y plus z by 2, x plus y plus z by 2. Okay, now, and here s means x plus y plus z by 2. Okay, x plus y plus z by 2 minus x. So here I can write this is y plus z minus x minus 2x. So which is minus x by 2. Okay, now this is numerator is 4z 4 delta by, now it is y plus z plus x, y plus z minus x, which is y plus z whole square minus x square. Now this can be written as 4 into, already we got that one of the option, angle y is 90 degrees. So x and z are the perpendicular sides. So I can write as delta area of the triangle is half into xz. Okay, by, so please expand this one, which is y square plus z square plus 2yz minus x square. So numerator is 2xz by denominator. Okay, so come on, from this one can you write like this: y square equals to x square plus z square, right? Yes, from this one, what is the value of y square minus x square? Y square minus x square value, y square minus x square is z square. Yes, this value is z square, and one more z square is, which is 2z square. 2z square plus 2yz. Okay, so from this one, please cancel that 2z term, which is x by, so z plus y, x by z plus y, whose value is tan x by 2 value. Yes, that is your third option. Okay, next. So from the properties of triangles. Yes, students, come on, make a note. Yes, students, one more problem, 11th one. So L equals to x minus 1 by 1, y by minus 1, z minus 1 by 3, and L2 is x minus 1 by minus 3, y by minus 1, z minus 1 by n, and there is a one more straight line is there, that is L equals to x minus alpha by n, y minus 1 by m, z minus gamma minus 2, lies in the plane of L1 and L2. So the line L lies in the plane of L1 and L2, and one more condition, L bisects the angle between the L1 and L2, which bisect the, it may be obtuse angle bisector, that means it may be obtuse angle bisector or acute angle bisector, whatever it is, we don't know that, we should find this one. Okay, of those, which of the following option is such? Very simple problem. Okay, so L is the line which is the angle bisector of L1 and L2. Okay, yes, come on. So this is L1 and L2. Okay, so what are the direction ratios of L1? 1, minus 1 and 3. Okay, I can write it is D1 is okay, so I cap minus J cap plus 3K cap. Am I right or not? So what that means the direction ratios of L1, and coming to this one L2. So it is D2 is minus 3 I cap minus J cap plus K cap. Right? D1 and D2. Okay. Yes. What is that? The dot product D1 into D2 is which is minus 3 plus 1 plus 3. Yes, okay, it is 1 greater than 0. Right or not? Greater than 0. That means the angle between them is acute angle. Yes, this is the acute angle. Now this is our line, acute angle bisector. Okay, and this one is the obtuse angle bisector. Right? So acute angle bisector, acute. What is the acute angle bisector? When L1 and L2 are given, that acute angle bisector is the addition of these two. Right? So what is the direction ratios of the acute angle bisector? This one, that is 1 minus 3 minus 2, 1 minus 3 minus 2, minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, and it is 3 plus 1 4. So they are the direction ratios of the acute angle bisector. Of course, I can write it as minus 1 and 2. Right? And else the same thing is 1 comma minus 2. Right? 1 comma minus 2. Yes, coming to this one here, already they have given that minus 2. Right? Here I got also minus 2. Okay. Yes, that means what is M value and M value? Simple. L value is 1 and M value is 1. So L plus M equals to 2. That's it. Okay. Yes, one of the option is correct. That is B option. L plus M equals to 2. Yes. And one more thing. And coming to this one, both the lines are intersecting at one point, L1 and L2. What is that point? 1, 0 and 1. Is right or not? 1, 0 and 1. This is also passing through 1, 0 and 1. The line L also passing through the same point, that is 1, 0, 1. Come on. Yeah, and coming to here, I am going to write in the line L equals to 0, which is passing through the point 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1. Yes, it is passing to the point of intersection of L1 equals 0 and L2 equals 0. So can I write this one? So it is x minus 1 by, okay, x minus 1. What are the direction ratios? 1 equals to y minus 0 by 1 equals to z minus 1 by minus 2. Okay, but actually what the line is given? So which is equals to x minus alpha by L, y minus 1 by m, and z minus gamma by minus 2. Okay, that's okay. Yes, I can get here by comparing this one, by equating this one, we will get alpha is 2 and gamma equals to minus 1. Right? And according to this option, alpha minus gamma, 2 minus or minus 1, 3. Yes, it is your first option. It is not satisfying that. Third option and the fourth option. Yes, this is the problem. Very simple problem. Yes, from the 3D straight lines, 3D geometry. Come on, students, make a note. Yeah, one more. Which of the following option is correct? They have given that 4 options. Integration of 0 to 1, x cos x dx greater than or equals to 3 by 8. X sin x greater than or equals to 3 by 10. X square cos x greater than or equals to 1 by 2. X square sin x greater than or equals to 2 by 9. And the boundary is 0 to 1. Okay. Yeah. So by expanding this one, okay, we may get somewhat a difficulty. Okay, that's why I am going to use that expansions. We know that cos x expansion 1 minus x square by 2 factorial plus x power 4 by 4 factorial and so on. And what about the sin x expansion? X minus x cube by 3 factorial plus x power 5 by 5 factorial minus x power 7 by 7 factorial and so on. Okay. Yes, in that case, so please neglect this highest powers. Okay. Yes, I can take that the cos x is 1 minus x square by 2 and the sin x is x minus x cube by 3 factorial. Okay. So coming to the first option, so it is integration 0 to 1 x into cos x. So cos x is 1 minus x square by 2 dx. Okay, 1 minus x square by 2 dx. This is integration 0 to 1 x minus x cube by 2 dx. Okay, yes, this is integration of x. So it is x square by 2 minus x power 4 by 4 at 8. So boundary is 0 to 1. So it is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 8. So 4 minus 1, which is 3 by 8. So this value is equals to 3 by 8. So what is the first option? So integration 0 to 1 x cos x value is greater than or equals to 3 by 8. Yes, the first option is correct. Like this, we can take this one. Integration 0 to 1 x sin x value x minus x cube by 6, and neglect the highest powers. We can get this one here. We can get by checking like this: b and not c, d. So ABD options, we are going to get the correct options. Students, come on, make a note. So it is under category of somewhat difficult problem. While expanding directly, you may get somewhat difficult. Okay, so better to use the expansions of sin x and cos x. It will be very easy by checking this one. Students, come on, make a note. Yes, students, coming to that section C. Section C, that is integer type questions. Okay, yes, so 13th question. They have given that m is the small m be the minimum possible value of logarithm of 3 raised to the power y1 like this, where y1, y2, y3 are real numbers, and they have given one condition y1 plus y2 plus y3 equals to 9. And like that, one more problem, capital M is the maximum possible value of log x1 base 3 plus log x2 base 3 plus log x3 base 3, where x1, x2, x3 equals to 9. In that case, we should find that minimum possible value of the first case, maximum possible of the second case, which are denoted by small m and capital M, and finally they asked one value. Okay, so already in the previous video we discussed that about that advanced 2020 strategy. Okay, so I clearly mentioned this one. One of the question we are going to expecting from that arithmetic progression greater than or equals to geometric progression. Okay, right? An arithmetic mean greater than or equals to inequalities. Okay, here we got the question, inequality question. Okay, come on. So let us take the three numbers. Okay, so here I am going to use that one of the inequality, arithmetic mean greater than or equals to geometric mean of the given three numbers. Okay, yes, come on, please take this one. 3 power y1 plus 3 power y2 plus 3 power y3 by 3. Okay, is greater than or equals to 3 power y1 into 3 power y2 into 3 power y3 whole power 1 by 3. Right? Arithmetic mean, sum of values by 3 is greater than or equals to the geometric mean. Okay, so this thing I can write 3 power y1 plus y2 plus y3, right? y1 plus y2 plus y3 is 9. 3 power 9 whole power 1 by 3, which is 3 cube 27. Okay, yes, then I can write here clearly 3 power y1 plus 3 power y2 plus 3 power y3 is greater than or equals to, which is 81. Okay, 81, that means I can write which is greater than or equals to 3 power 4. Okay, yes, now actually our problem is applying the logarithm on both sides. Okay, base is 3. Now I can write logarithm of the value 3 power y1 plus 3 power y2 plus 3 power y3 base 3. Okay, so for applying the logarithm, which is greater than or equals to 4 into log 3 base 3, which is greater than or equals to 4. 4 and greater than 4, that 4 is the minimum value, right? So that means here I can write small m value is equals to 4, right? Come on, students. Then after I'm going to take that one more condition. Okay, then we are going to find that capital M, which is the maximum possible value of the second condition. Okay, students, just wait. Yes, coming to the second case, let us take the three numbers x1, x2, x3, and they have given the condition x1 plus x2 plus x3 equals to 9. Okay, here also I am going to apply the same inequality, x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, arithmetic mean greater than or equals to geometric mean of those things, x1 into x2 into x3 whole power 1 by 3. Okay, yes, x1 plus x2 plus x3 is 9, 9 by 3 is 3, 3 greater than or equals to, which is cube root of course, x1 into x2 into x3 whole power 1 by 3. Am I right or not? Now both sides applying the logarithm. Yes, both sides applying the logarithm, or else simply cubing on both sides, which is 27 is greater than or equals to x1 into x2 into x3. Cubing on both sides. Okay, so here I can write x1 into x2 into x3 is less than or equals to 27. Now both sides applying the logarithm what they have given that. Okay, and according to the base 3. So logarithm of a into b into c, I can write it is log a plus log b plus log c base 3 is less than or equals to logarithm of 27 base 3, which is less than, which is equals to, which is 3 less than or equals to 3. That 3 less than or equals to 3, that 3 is the maximum value. So which is capital M equals to 3. Yeah, then what they have given the problem? Finally, yes, finally, log small m cube base 2 plus log capital M square base 3. So here I can write logarithm of small m cube. It is 4 cube, which is 64 base 2 plus logarithm of capital M square. Capital M is 3 square. Okay, logarithm of 3 square base 3. Okay, so it is 2 power 6, 64, 2 power 6, which is 6 plus and 2, which is 8. Right, and 6 into log 2 base 2 plus 2 into log 3 base 3. It is 6 plus 2, 8. That is your problem. Okay, so very easy category of this one. So whose value is 8.000. It is a type questions. Come on, students, make a note. Yes, here one more problem from the sequence and series. A1, A2, A3 are the positive integers which are in arithmetic progression with the common difference is 2. And B1, B2, B3 are the positive integers which are in geometric progression of common ratio is 2. And one more condition, A1 equals to B1 equals to C. Okay, then the number of possible values for C, okay, which is satisfying the condition, 2 times of A1 plus A2 plus A3 and so on AN equals to B1 plus B2 plus B3 and so on Bn. Okay, come on, satisfying this condition. So which is 2 of sum of n terms which are in AP. So this is 2A, 2 times of A1, 2 times of A1. Okay, A1 into C, 2 times of A2A plus n minus 1 into D. Common difference is 2. Okay, S equals to B1. B1 means sum of terms in GP. A into, that means B1 means it is C into R power n minus 1 by R minus 1. Right? Yeah. So okay, come on. This is n by 2. 2 times of n by 2. Yeah, this n by 2 is there. These two get cancelled. Simplifying this term. Okay. So it is 2nc, right? 2nc. Next 2n into n minus 1. 2n into n minus 1. That side is c into 2 power n minus 1. Okay. So all the c terms separating that, then you can get this is 2n into n minus 1 equals to c into 2 power n minus 1. Okay, minus c into 2n, minus c into 2n. Okay, then what is the c value? 2 power n into n minus 1 by 2 power n minus 1 minus 2n. This is the value of c. Okay, yes. So for which values of c we are going to get that value. Okay, for some, what is the value of c? We may get some value for n is integer. Okay, so where c is a1 and b1. What are first of all a1 and b1 are positive integers. So for which value of n we are going to get the value c also an integer. Okay, yes, come on, please take n is equals to 0, n is equals to 1, n is equals to 2, n is equals to 3, like this, n is equals to 4. We can get this one. So come on, first of all take n equals to 0. So n equals 0, c becomes 0. Okay, so we can have to take this one. So this becomes 0, n equals to 1, n equals to 2, come on, n equals to 3, come on, please take this one, n equals to 3. 2 3 is 6 is 2 by, so 2 power 3, 8 minus 1, 7, 7 minus 6 is 1, it is 12, yes. So for n equals to 3, the value of c is a positive integer. Okay, yes. So here the possible values of c, number, they are asking the number of possible values of c is there is only one possibility. Okay, yes, that is your problem. Okay, your integer value is 1. Yes, here is a problem from the trigonometric equations. Yes, f is a function 0 to from r defined by f of x equals to like this, 3 minus sine 2 pi x of sine pi x minus pi by 4 minus a sine of 3 pi x plus pi by 4. Okay, so it is a somewhat difficult category, and where alpha beta belongs to 0 comma 2 such that f of x is greater than or equals to 0. Okay, so which belongs to alpha and beta. Okay, so which belongs to in this interval. Okay, where f of x is greater than or equals to 0. So we are going to find that interval. Okay, yes, and in that case, what is beta minus alpha? Okay, yeah, come on here. Yes, so please, you can take this angle is pi x minus pi by 4. Let it be take theta. Okay, yes, then I can write it is pi x is theta plus pi by 4. Here we got 2 pi x is there, 3 pi x is there. Yes, pi x is theta plus pi by 4. What is 2 pi x? 2 pi x is 2 theta plus pi by 2. 2 times of pi by 4. What is 3 pi x? Is 3 theta plus 3 pi by 4. So here we are going to replace in the total values. Then our problem is 3 times minus sine of 2 pi x. What is 2 pi x? 2 theta plus pi by 2. So yes, it is pi by 2 plus 2 theta of sine theta. It is, yes, sine theta minus sine of 3 pi x. What is 3 pi x? Is 3 theta plus 3 pi by 4. Yes, it is 3 theta plus 3 pi by 4 plus pi by 4. Okay, yes, come on. This is 3 minus sine 90 plus theta is cos theta, which is cos 2 theta of sine theta minus sine of, okay, 3 pi by 4 plus pi by 4, 4 pi by 4, 5, pi plus 3 theta, sine 180 plus theta minus sine theta, so I can write plus of sine 3 theta. Okay, yes, come on. So now expanding this one, so here you can get which is 3 minus of 1 minus 2 sine square theta of sine theta plus sine 3 theta, 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. Okay, yes, come on. This is 3 minus 1, 2. Okay, plus 2 sine square theta of sine theta plus 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. Yes, come on, simplify this one. It is 2 sine theta plus 3 sine theta, which is 5 sine theta minus 2 sine cube theta minus 4 sine cube theta, which is minus 2 sine cube theta. So from this one, please take that sine theta value, 5 minus 2 sine square theta. Right, Araj? So 5 minus 2 sine, I think so, it is already positive. 5 minus 2 sine square theta is a positive. Okay, yes, here what condition? F of x is greater than or equals to 0. This is greater than or equals to 0. So this is already positive. 5 minus 2 sine square theta is positive. Obviously, sine theta also positive. Right? So sine theta is greater than 0, where theta belongs to, yes, pi by 2. 0 lies between 0 to pi by 2, of course. So come on. So 0 less than okay, 0 less than pi by 2. Yes, actually what is theta value? Theta is pi x minus pi by 4. Theta is pi x minus pi by 4. Okay, it is greater than or equals to 0. Okay, take, no problem. Okay, yes, which is less than or equals to, right? Theta value pi x minus pi by 4 less than or equals to pi by 2. Yeah, so from this one, separating the x term. So which is by separating the x term from here, all the from all the terms, so pi get cancelled. So finally I can write 1 by 4 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 5 by 4. By simplifying this one, we can get the problem. Okay. So whose values are alpha and beta? Alpha value is 1 by 4 and beta value is 5 by 4. This is alpha and this is beta. So finally what they ask? Beta minus alpha. So 5 by 4 minus 4 by 4. 1 by 4, which is 4 by 4, whose value is 1. Yes, that is our integral part of the problem. Yes, come on, students. Yes, coming to that from the vectors. So in a triangle PQR, vector A, vector B, vector C are given, and their magnitude of A is 3, magnitude of B is 4 is given, and they have given one condition. Finally, we are going to find magnitude of A cross B whole square. Okay. Yes, come on. So first to take that diagram PQR. Okay. So QR. So QR is A bar and RP is B bar and PQ is C bar. So they are the sides and their magnitudes are magnitude of A is 3, magnitude of B is 4 is given. So magnitude of A is 3, magnitude of B is 4 is given. Okay, and they have given that one condition. Okay, and in that case we are going to use that very important property. Yes, this is magnitude of A plus A bar plus B bar plus C bar is 0. Right or not? Okay, triangle of vectors a bar plus b bar plus c bar is 0. Yes. Okay, according to that, come on. So please apply this one. A can be written as minus of b bar plus c bar. Okay, so dot c bar minus b bar. Okay, yes, by, and c can be written as minus of a bar plus b bar dot, this is a bar minus b bar, equals to magnitude of a by magnitude of a plus magnitude of b, which is 3 by 7. Yes, this minus is applying this one, b bar minus c bar, b bar plus c bar. This is magnitude of b square, magnitude of c square by. So this is minus applying this one, b minus a of b plus a. Okay, which is magnitude of b square minus magnitude of a square. Yes, this equals to 3 by 7. Yes, what is magnitude of b is 4, magnitude of b square is 16 minus magnitude of c square by, yes, it is 16 minus 9. Okay, so which is 7 is 3 by 7. Okay, so magnitude of c square, magnitude of c square is equals to 13. Right, you got that magnitude of c also. Right, now we are going to find finally magnitude of a cross b whole square, a square b square, and the sine of angle between a and b. So here this should the angle we should find. So come on, please find out that. Better to use by using that cosine rule. Cos theta equals to a square plus b square. It is 9 plus 16 minus c square, which is 13 by 2ab, 2 into 3 into 4. Okay, it is 12 by 2 times of 12, which is 1 by 2. Yes, cos theta 1 by 2, so which is 60 degrees. Then sin theta equals to root 3 by 2. Am I right or not? Yeah. Then finally, what's the problem? Magnitude of a cross b whole square. So it is magnitude of a cross b whole square. Magnitude of a square, magnitude of b square, sin square theta. So magnitude of a square is 9 and it is 16 into sin square theta is 3 by 4. So 4 times. So which is 108. That is very simple problem from the vectors. Okay students, come on. Make it. Yes, so coming to the next question. G of x is a polynomial with real coefficients and mg denotes the number of distinct real roots. Mg denotes the number of distinct real roots, and they will be set set of polynomials with real quotients, and of those one function is given x square minus 1 whole square of a0 a1x into x square into x cube, and they have given that f dash and f double dash as, of course they are the first order and the second order derivatives of that. Then the final question is, what is the minimum possible values of minimum of m into f dash plus m into f double dash the function. Okay, yes, come on, take the function. So which is f of x is x square minus 1 whole cube of, this is a0 plus a1x plus okay a2x square plus a3x cube. So come on, please take this derivative f dash of x, right? So it is 3 times of x square minus 1 whole square into 2x of this function as it is, right? Plus, right? Next to okay, yes, this is derivative, this function is as it is. Okay, now this function x square minus 1 whole cube of, yes, this derivative is a1 plus 2 times of a2 plus okay 2 times of a2 into x plus 3 times of x square into a3, like this. Am I right? Yeah. So in that case, please come on, take the values x square minus 1 whole square. Can we take the common? So x square minus 1 whole square, can we take the common, and we will get a polynomial like this. Okay, so f dash of x is equals to 0, then compulsory I will get that the minimum 2 roots. Minimum 2 roots, we can get the 2 distinct real roots for f dash of x. They are plus 1 and minus 1. So I can write like this: f dash of x has minimum 2 distinct real roots. 2 distinct real roots. Am I right? Yes. Suppose if f of x has 2 distinct real roots, that is plus 1 and minus 1, immediately I can say f double dash of x has a compulsory 1 root in between minus 1 and plus 1. right? Compulsory there will be a 1 root f dash double dash of x, okay, in between -1 plus 1. So finally, so what is that? M f dash, minimum value of real roots of f dash and f double dash. So here is the 2 roots are there, here is the compulsory 1 root is there. Finally your answer is minimum 3 real roots are there for that function m of minimum of f dash function, and its second. Yes, so here is the last problem. So the value of the real number a we should find. The value of the real number a we should find, for which the right hand limit. So it is that is limit extends to 0 plus 1 minus x whole power 1 by e minus e power minus 1 by x power e. Okay. So for the adjacence of the right limit, so what is the value of a? So by applying the L'Hospital we get this one, or else okay, yes, expansion the one. Expanding this one, okay, simply I can write the limit extends to 0 plus, okay, this is 1 by e into 1 plus some constant into x, okay, and the terms, so highest degree terms, so are neglecting that one, okay, yes, you can take up to this one only, yes, neglecting that highest degree terms, and minus e power minus 1 by x power a, yes, come on. So this is when extends to 0 plus the expansion of this one, 1 by e and 1 by e get cancelled. So kx by x power a, I mean limit extends to 0 plus. Okay, yes, this is equals to k into x power 1 minus a. Right or not? Yeah, for the existence of this one, what you going to get the value of a? This is a equals to 1. That will be the problem. Very simple problem. Okay, yes. Yeah, students. Yeah, I hope that you are also attempted very nicely. I hope that you are also going to get that good percentage from this one. Okay, yes, and the students, so if you like the video, please subscribe my channel and share to your friends. Okay, so thank you for watching.